There is a podcast invites are part of a Facebook scam to steal people's Facebook pages. This is not terribly dissimilar to something we used to do maybe 10 years ago. But what we were doing 10 years ago was ideologically motivated, let's say. And instead of filling the page with spam, we would fill the page with goats. And
I'm surprised that this thing will actually give you admin access.
This seems like a lawsuit kind of thing. One Mr. Alex Emmerich Jones was unbanned from X/Twitter. Wonder if he thinks Alex's audience might be more inclined to pay for Twitter.
That's possible.
But they're already buying super male vitality from Alex. Hey everybody, how the tech are you? I'm producer Dave. I somewhat produce this show, and I'm the producer of all the other shows here at Echoplex Media. You can check out our website, echoplexmedia.com, for more information. My first story I found because it sort of reminds me of something we used to do, but this is much more nefarious than the thing we used to do. There is a podcast invites are part of a Facebook scam to steal people's Facebook pages. This comes to us from Engadget. So as part of the setup for a Zoom meeting, Facebook users are tricked into giving the scammer admin access to their Facebook business page. The scammer would ask the page owner to share their screen and go to a settings page called data sets within Facebook. It's sort of a buried setting that not a lot of people use. I use Facebook a lot for marketing our stuff, and I've never seen it. In data sets, the creators would generate a unique URL that the scammers could use to get into the business account. The scammer would basically just say that you needed to generate this for some reason, something having to do with the podcast appearance, or something that you needed to be on their podcast or to help promote. But then they'd screen cap that URL, and without any further authorization from the creators, the scammer could use that URL link to access the Facebook business account as an admin. The scammer would then remove the actual owner's ability to log into their own Facebook business account, and after that, well, they would post spam. This is not terribly dissimilar to something we used to do maybe 10 years ago. But what we were doing 10 years ago was ideologically motivated, let's say. And instead of filling the page with spam, we would fill the page with goats. And I've linked to an article from the LA Times about one of the more famous times we did that. Any thoughts on this, Matt?
Well, I'm surprised that they could just get a URL from one of these deep down settings pages or whatever it's called, and be able to get admin access. I know on other websites that I've used, you can generate like access URLs for and access keys for different groups, or if you want to basically connect with with a bot or something for some of these kind of things where you want to automatically post something or something like that. But it doesn't give you like admin access. It gives you post access. Right.
It's basically through the API or whatever that you're allowed to post.
Yeah, exactly. It gives you API access for posting, and you can usually go in and set the access level that you want them to have. But I'm surprised that this thing will actually give you admin access.
Yeah, I was surprised too. I imagine this is gone now, right? Since this article's up, this must be gone. But it was buried. I'd never heard of it because I've given tons of people access over the years to our different Facebook pages, not just the one for Echoplex Media. And I've had to go in, I select the level of access they want. I have to have that person's email address, I believe, if I want to add them, like the email address they use to log in. And then I have to re-log into Facebook. And then it asks me again if I want this person to have the access. And then it sends me an email telling me that I did that. And, if you don't want to do this, here is the place to go revoke it. And it just seems like this is basically one click. And if you're logged into your own personal Facebook account, now you have the highest level of administrator access to somebody else's business account. This seems like a lawsuit kind of thing.
It could be. I don't know. I don't know what size are these groups or businesses that are getting hacked are, and obviously, I assume they would be suing Facebook for opening up such an obvious hole in their security. But Facebook has had security issues for a long time. I don't know what they get away with, but Facebook is really important to a lot of businesses.
Yeah, I think they're probably not targeting large business, right? Because large business is going to be like, you want to have somebody from our organization on a podcast? Actually, here's what we require of you.
Yeah.
Right? They're not going to get on a Zoom call and have somebody share their screen and click around, they're going to be like, this violates all of our security protocols. This is probably, somebody who either works by themselves or works with a very small team, and they're the person who manages the Facebook, or maybe they don't even really manage the social media. They're the owner or the head honcho of like probably a small business. Usually like creators or influencers, I would assume, is who would be targeted by this. And I think this article sort of says that, one of the pages had 500,000 followers, right? And that's a lot of followers that somebody got a hold of, but it wasn't like a large business or anything I had ever heard of. So this is bad. Takes advantage of inexperienced people. And if anybody out there has ever tried to get customer service from Facebook when they've been locked out of their account, they know how that goes.
Yeah.
So once this person owns your page, they probably just own it forever. And you probably just have to start over. And it damages your brand. It damages your brand because some people might assume that you're to make money allowing this person or this entity to post ads and spam on your page, because once the page is compromised, you have no way to get the word out to the followers of the page that it's been compromised, because you're not going to be personal friends with all of them, and you may not have a backup page or enough people on Twitter or Instagram. But what's crazy here too is if somebody got a hold of my Facebook business profile, they would have access to my Instagram too.
Wow. Yeah, that makes sense.
But it's because it allows all kind of neat stuff. Like it's the only way to get your Instagram shop really is to integrate it with Meta Business.
Yeah.
And so being able to tag products on Instagram is huge. So this is a big problem. I'm not going to say that I wish I knew about this when we were stealing pages for other, I would call them more funny reasons, but I kind of wish we knew about this. All right, up next, I have one Mr. Alex Emmerich Jones was unbanned from X/Twitter. Alex blamed his bad rep on media and PR firms during an interview that he did with Elon Musk. A year ago, Musk had refused to reinstate Alex Jones, saying no mercy for anyone who would use the deaths of children for gain, politics, or fame. Elon, during the interview that was on Twitter Spaces, did in fact ask Alex Jones about Sandy Hook. But as you might expect, Jones misrepresented his statements on the matter, contradicting court records, actually. And then Jones drew comparisons between himself and Elon Musk, saying the media lies about them both. And then they had a bit of a panel discussion. And there was a rogues gallery in the panel discussion that included Michael Flynn, Vivek Ramaswamy, Jason Calacanis, Andrew Tate, Ed Krasenstein, and more. Lots of grifters up in there.
Wow.
My take on this is that Elon's no longer mad at Alex Jones for saying all kinds of mean things about him in the past.
I guess so. He probably figures that Alex Jones will bring more of the right kind of people for the website. You know what I mean?
Yeah, or just more people in general to the website. Because in the past, like Alex Jones has been, I wouldn't even say critical of Elon Musk. He also just probably told a bunch of lies about Elon Musk. Like he was talking about, like when he talks about globalists and the New World Order and stuff, you think up until recently he wasn't including Elon Musk in that list of people?
Yeah, well, he probably won't include him now because helped him get back on Twitter.
Right. That's how you get out of the New World Order is you let Alex Jones back on Twitter. I listened to some of the Twitter Spaces, and we ran a clip of it last night on our main news show, and the clip was funny because Vivek Ramaswamy forgot to mute his phone while he was going to the bathroom, and so you heard.
I was going to ask if it was that clip.
I don't know. There's not much to say here. It's just that it's only been a year, and Elon Musk changed his tune real quick, and I think you're right. I think it's because of some declining metric that he thinks Alex Jones may help him with. And I don't think
it's going to help him get the advertisers back.
That's certainly not true. I wonder if he thinks Alex's audience might be more inclined to pay for Twitter.
That's possible.
But they're already buying super male vitality from Alex.
That's the joke I was going to tell. That was good. Exactly. If they're, they can be duped into buying all the crazy stuff Alex is selling, then they probably pay for the monthly subscription to Twitter. We'll see what happens though, because Twitter's revenue has been just falling off a cliff.
Yeah,
he's trying to move towards a paid model, which I can understand. stuff that's paid for generally is better in a lot of respects, but doesn't seem like that's what he's really doing, bringing these crazy people on. And Twitter is just becoming more of a cesspool than it was before. And it doesn't seem like he's getting enough revenue. So we'll see what happens.
It would have been neat if they would have moved to a subscription model before all this. If they would have said, well, you can also pay for, I guess if they called it Twitter Blue or whatever, and you get these, you can post longer posts, you can post longer videos, you get access to, more detailed analytics. I don't like that it pushes you up to the top of the replies because you paid for it, because it just like distorts the conversation in a way that doesn't make a lot of sense. And, for all this guy's talk about bots, if somebody's running a bot farm, you think they don't got $8 a month for like 10 different bots to go like distort a conversation? Of course they do. We'll see what happens here. Alex Jones on his way back into the mainstream, just because of our current media environment and people's distrust of all kinds of things. I don't think him going back on Twitter is that big a deal, but I do think it's interesting that Elon Musk swallowed his pride, because I don't think he cared at all about Sandy Hook. I think he cared that you could find hours and hours of clips of Alex Jones talking about Elon Musk, and he doesn't like people who criticize him.
Yeah, it's exactly what's going on.
Yeah, and it's whatever. I still have to use Twitter because not for this show, but for the other shows, I absolutely have to be on there. But I'm reading more and posting less, that's for sure. And I think a lot of other people I know, except for disinformation researchers who are actually pulling like a lot of clips to make sure that people see what's going on, I think a lot of other people are sort of doing the same thing. It's unfortunate that Blue Sky didn't really take off, and that Mastodon has a reputation for being complicated, even though,
not that complicated.
But I mean, I understand people are like, what server do I join? And the answer is any. But when it like people they think it's too complicated. And Threads, we'll see how Threads does. I haven't gone on there yet because I should be on there, but I just don't need another thing. And that's also a meta product, and I don't like it. We'll keep an eye on this, but I think it'll just be links to his shows. I don't think he's going to be like really engaging on there much. And I do believe the Twitter space that he was a part of is up for anybody to listen to. But there's also just clips of Vivek Ramaswamy taking a piss, if that's what you're really there for.
Thank you, everyone, for checking out the How the Tech Are You weekly tech news show. If you want to check out our other shows, you can do that on echoplexmedia.com. And if you want to support us, you can do that on eplex.store or patreon.com/echoplex. Don't remember to like and subscribe and leave a comment down below telling us what you like, what you didn't like. We want to hear what you think. Have a great tech and week.